How about that?
How is this long stretch being able to help your team as you're here Michigan State?
Well, hopefully it'll be a positive, especially coming off a very poor performance. Last week we needed to kind of reshuffle the deck and get back to work. Hopefully get a little bit healthier, a little bit more rested. You don't get many of these breaks during the year. So we'll see come Sunday, but I feel like we've had some good practices. I feel like the guys are in a good frame of mind mentally. And obviously it's going to be a really tough test Sunday, but hopefully this week will help us be better and more equipped and ready to go.
Do you make any adjustments you could make now?
Yeah, I think you're always making a few adjustments. You have to in this league because it's such a well-coached league. So I think as the year goes on, you always have to, do a few things defensively, add some wrinkles offensively, some things maybe to help, function a little better. I think for us, still figuring out kind of, best ways, practices, best ways to play, how to play off our main guys better, how to attack what teams are doing against us defensively. So, I think that this week allowed us to really take a deep dive on ourselves and, now, these next couple of days really lock in on Michigan State and what they present as challenges.
They're a team that's won 8 in a row. It's very confident.
Yeah.
How do you take it?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. We know. They're playing at a really high level. You could tell Coach Izzo really likes this group. It's hard he always wears his emotions on his sleeve. So they're really back to kind of playing vintage Michigan State basketball. Their tempo. They say it every year about playing fast and rebounding, but to me, they're kind of back to doing that. They're really pushing the ball up the floor quick. They're really attacking you and getting you on your heels, and then they're a lead on the offensive board. So anytime you play Michigan State, that's always the first two things on the board is transition defense and rebounding, and that will remain the same. And then trying to do a good job against their personnel. They got guys playing with a lot of confidence, and they're playing at a really high level right now.
But they're coming into the Lions game. You guys haven't lost here.
Yeah, you got to win at home. If you want to stay relevant in this league, it's going to be a big game for us. We had to play 2 on the road last week. Had a chance to get one of them. Kind of wasn't able to do that. And you got to, if you want to stay in the mix, you got to take care of home no matter who you're playing. So we need to have a great crowd. I know it'll be 11 a.m. Sunday, but we need the energy. We need the atmosphere to be at a really high level to play against one of the best teams in the country.
Coach, you said you were a little bit surprised when the team came out a bit flat Sunday against Purdue. When you went back through the film, what did you see in that first half?
Before I burned it, it was just a disappointing day. Honestly, as a coach, I always take personal responsibility. So what could I have done to help our guys be ready to fight at the level we needed to fight, execute at the level we needed to fight, defend at the level we needed to? We just didn't do any of those things. And in this league, if you're not ready to do that, you get smoked. You're seeing that. If you're ready, it's going to be a dogfight, both teams. If one team's not ready, you're going to get smacked in the face hard, and that's what happened to us in that first half. Hopefully we'll learn from it. It was very disappointing that I thought we were going to be really, but sometimes you might think things are going to happen and it doesn't. And so we got to move on from it now. We can't wallow in it, but we got to be at a much higher level in all those things I mentioned. Our starts, had a couple tough starts in a row where I haven't liked our energy, 11-2. I know it's on the road, but still, you got to be ready to start the game with energy and fight, getting stops, and we didn't do that last week. So, we got to get better in those areas and really be ready to go Sunday.
You also talked about playing guys who have the right energy with Ty and Matt and Jalen. What did the conversations look like after the game in order to get them back into that?
Yeah, I think they kind of know as veterans. The one thing about, especially Ty and Matt, Jalen's been great, but Ty and Matt, they've played here for 5 years, so they believe in everything we're doing, and we got to help them as well, and that's our job as coaches. How can we help them, get to a better level and be more productive and play with the energy and fight the spirit that we need, and I'm confident that they'll bounce back. That's who they've been. Jalen the same way. I mean, even though he's new this year, he's been here long enough to know kind of what we're about. And, I'd be really surprised if those three guys don't respond in a great way on Sunday.
Coach, in that Purdue game, I know Brooks and Nick often had 2 or 3 guys covering them. What are you guys working on to try to spread the wealth and alleviate the
Yeah, I mean, the very first thing is for them to trust. I think anytime, for a great player, you want to try to take on, even like I can still get there. I can, and teams are making a conscious effort to make those guys be passers. And when that's there, that's what they need to do. And they're not selfish players; they're unselfish. The call comes from a really good place. And I just thought too much in that game. They were trying to take on 2 and 3 guys. And I mean, even early before game, Brooks made a couple great passes across the floor to Jalen, made a couple threes. And if they're going to keep doing that, then maybe he gets 15 assists that night. You gotta take what the game is giving you. And so that's where watching film. I mean, some of this too is new. Like we're now that we're getting in league, okay, how are teams playing us? Where are the double teams coming from? Where's the help? Where do we need to position our guys better as a coaching staff where they can see their outlets? I think this week was good for a lot of that. And every game you play is going to be different. Everyone's going to have a little bit different scheme. But I think the reality is when you have 2 guys averaging 20, they're going to command a lot of attention. And we got to really do a good job of, if they do that, the other guy's ready to make them pay.
And I know you always say you don't coach with scripted minutes, but I know Angelo's been playing well, KJ's been playing well. Should we expect to be seeing them more?
I hope so. Yeah, I've been hoping that, and a lot of that has been their development and their experience. And I say it all the time, like for us, like you got to know when you come in the game, you kind of know what you're going to expect. Doesn't mean you're going to get 20 every night, but do you kind of know what our schemes are? Do you know what we're trying to do? And the more they've played, I think they've gotten more comfortable. And they're talented guys. And so, yes, I've been hoping, for them to be in a position to be rotational guys, and I expect that to happen, especially as we get into the second half of the season. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
So you had a week off last year. Maybe get the bad taste out there. Obviously, Purdue, and hopefully
Yeah, for sure. I think we came back and really kind of just wanted to focus on us. Had a lot of, practices where we can kind of just, kind of break it down and get back to the basics. Kind of, what is our team built on? What do we need to do to, come back out here and compete to take on the course? So I think it's been a really good week for us all in all.
I think you guys were missing.
Yeah, I think really what it kind of boils down to is I don't know if we were kind of still stuck on the Penn State loss or the couple losses we've had this season where we just haven't had really a lot of good luck, but we can't kind of blame that. That can't be our excuse. We have to go out there and compete every night and bring that edge every night. We just didn't do that last Sunday. Like, it just wasn't who we are, and the blame is on us, so we can't put it on anybody else. So we just try to come home this week and just kind of correct that, and I think we have, and now we have to go out there and compete Sunday.
What's the challenges with the Spartans?
Yeah, they guard, they play really fast. One of the best college coaches ever. So there's going to be challenges, but we got to be ready for those and kind of go out and play our game.
After 2 straight losses, what are a few words you'd use to describe the team's mindset right now?
Yeah, kind of hungry. We're in a spot where you can't let 1 turn to 2, 2 into 3. So we got to come back out and we just have to protect home court. So we're kind of in a position that we really haven't been in the last few years, and we can't look at that as like being sad or being discouraged. We got to kind of look at it as we got to be gritty and be excited about our opportunity to come home and protect home court. So that's just kind of what it is, just being hungry.
I know at the Purdue game you often had 2 or 3 guys covering you. I asked Coach about this, but how do you plan to spread the wealth and kind of alleviate that pressure?
Yeah, I think I was trying to kind of take on too many guys against Purdue for sure. I think I had like 8 turnovers. It's horrible, but I think what I got to kind of get back to is in the Penn State game they kind of did a similar thing, and I just kind of move the ball and let my playmaking open up my offense. So I think I did a really good job of that against Penn State. So just kind of got to come out and see how teams are trying to guard me, and then take what they give me. Not make it make the simple play. I think I've really worked on it the last few days, and I'm ready for it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we just didn't really bring it on Sunday. We didn't have the intensity that we needed. That has kind of been a staple of this program the last 2 years. Watching the film, all of us just hurting watching it, understanding that we didn't do everything we could to win. And yeah, hopefully that motivates us for Sunday.
What's going to be what you guys have to do against the Spartans? Because right now they're a very hot team.
Yeah, they're a very good team, very well coached, as we all know. They play really fast, so we have to be super locked in on defense, and that's what we're super focused on is our defense this game. And then eventually, hopefully, that'll lead to a little bit of offense for us.
Like the challenge the defense against the team.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely needed to work on our defense, our principles, and get back to what we were doing when we were holding teams to 60, 50 points. And yeah, Michigan State, you really have to be locked in on that end, so it's a good challenge for us.
Nick, after 2 road games in 4 days, what does a week off allow the team to do from both a physical recovery and a mental recovery standpoint?
Yeah, that day after the Purdue game, you definitely wanted to get away from the game a little bit and just reflect and look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, if you really want it, And it was a great opportunity for me. I got to watch the game a couple times and just see myself, in places where I could be better, and I could be better 99% of the aspects of that game. So, yeah, I was just grateful. I'm grateful that we have a couple more days to get ready, but have had 2 good days of practice.
Nick, in the second half of that Purdue game, you had a different rotation in there, more time for KJ and Angelo. What's it been like to play with some of those younger guys?
Yeah, it was awesome. Angelo had a great game, I thought, and I was so happy for him. I talked to him after the game. I know how it is as a freshman, you're trying to get in the rotation and finally kind of having an opportunity to show off your skills is something that it just feels good. I remember being on the bench for a good part of my freshman year, and finally getting in the rotation was something that was awesome. And yeah, I was just super happy for those guys.
Thank you.